have to have a certain designated area where you cannot reach as demonstrators, and they have to respect that. People are calling demonstrations and giving public holidays and saying it's free fall, let's go to State House. I think we need to have laws, because once we have laws, then we can catch the offenders.
Ladies and gentlemen, my viewers, Esther Passaris, she's the woman rep of the Nairobi County, the capital city of the Republic of Kenya. Esther Passaris has been elected twice under the ODM ticket. Now, I want to remind you something about Esther Passaris. But before I do so, Esther Passaris, as we speak today, she has forwarded a bill in Parliament for debate that there should be some way they need to manage protests in the country. And it is very clear that the bill that she has brought on board, it is not how it was crafted. We all know Esther Passaris' capacity. And she has been given to bring it forward. Now, there are things that we need to remind ourselves about Esther Passaris. Number one, it is that Esther Passaris voted yes when Kenyans were being killed in the streets. And she was there when Kenyans were in the church, young men and women. If you people were in the country and you were watching closely, there were young men and women who went to the church having some things written, reject Finance Bill 2024, in the church, passing a message to President William Ruto. The young men and women across the country, they went to the streets for the first time to demonstrate and say no to the Finance Bill. Basically, there were no guns and nobody was actually hurt. There were no properties destroyed. I participated in one in Kisii here, where there are people who literally had put some hawkers had put their products just at the floor. As we were passing, nobody touched them. That was a very peaceful demonstration, which was very harmless. Now, despite the peaceful demonstrations here, the members of Parliament, including Esther Passaris, they did not care what message Kenyans had to the public, to the government. Instead, they were adamant and went ahead to force to pass the Finance Bill 2024. So, up to that point, the problem of Kenya was not demonstrations. It was the government. Guns were later introduced allegedly by the government, which started destroying goods, other people's properties, and of which continued. Even you see some of them developing the guts to go and burn vehicles, government vehicles, burn police stations. That is not a normal demonstration. Demonstrator, I mean. So the fact remains that the goons did not emanate from the Gen Zs. We also in Nairobi, goons thanking the governor for a good job, that they have kept the city safe.
Igwe! 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 Siku zote! Igwe! Gavana Igwe! Sakaja! Tumelinda jiji! Na tuwaogopi wakuje sasa! Wakuje sasa! Igwe siku zote! Mbwekse tuko hapo!
Sakaja Mbwekse!
Mbwekse! Siku zote! Siku zote! Kuja!
We saw goons walking alongside police officers, some of them boarding police cars. We all saw that. So we know the problem is not demonstrations. It is the political class. But still, Esther Passaris is thinking different. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you speak today, Esther Passaris has never contributed in the assembly in anything to do with security, except when she asked a simple question: are the people or patients in Kenyatta Hospital safe, or any other hospital in the country? She has never contributed any bill whatsoever. When it comes to the contributions across, like now, a member of parliament making some tangible contributions, Esther Passaris, she's among the lowest performing. When it comes to performance of women reps across the country, just in women alone, she's poorly performing. Poorly performing. So the fact remains that as we speak today, ladies and gentlemen, Esther Passaris, she's not somebody to even encourage people in the country as far as leadership is concerned, because in all fronts, she's not been doing well. As we speak today, Esther Passaris keeps siding with government. In everything that happens as far as the public is concerned, she shifts camp and sides with the government, despite the loudest voices from Kenyans on various matters. Even on housing, you remember that when Kenyans were saying no, the housing levy, honestly, it's too high. I mean, the housing levy, not now. The houses are not necessary. First, let us deal with these things that are affecting us first. Kenyans knew that the housing levy is going to enrich some Kenyans. Esther Passaris still came out to defend the government. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what are the concerns about the bill that's going to be raised that has been actually tabled probably in Parliament by Esther Passaris? That is going to form the basis of this analysis here. But before I take you through, if this is the first time you're watching my videos at Mukwa Times, take a second or two to subscribe, like, and comment, because that is the best support you can always give this channel. Let me dive into the topic today without wasting much time. But always remember, my number is here. Feel free to engage me and encourage me further on the issues to do with politics. Let me dive in. Ladies and gentlemen, there are things that have taken Kenyans to the streets. But Esther Passaris felt like the things to stop is the demonstrations. She did not sit down and ask herself that what is this that is taking Kenyans to the streets? But now, it's the ideal time to remind Esther Passaris. And these are my concerns. Number one, police brutality. For those who've been keen, you saw a young man who was shot right straight in the head by a police officer. He fell down, left blood oozing out of his head. The police officer walked away majestically, and it's like nothing happened. It's unfortunate to announce here that Boniface Karaoke eventually passed on at Kenyatta Hospital because his brain was totally damaged and he could not survive. Ladies and gentlemen, that level of brutality has not been addressed in Esther Passaris' bill. What they see is the wrong in the public. Very unfortunate. Very shameful. Another thing that I noted here, it's about the causes of the demonstrations. Apart from police brutality, there are many other things that are causing demonstrations. One of them being poor governance, corruption in government, wastage of public funds. So many bad things that are killing the economy as we speak today. So when all these things are happening, ladies and gentlemen, then Esther Passaris comes out and only sees the problem with the public. Then that's a shame to the leaders that are elected into various positions. And actually, it's a shame. It's like they are completely becoming a bad picture to most of the young girls who want to become leaders in this country. To just remind you, also in the finance bill that we rejected in 2024, there was a clause that was dealing with the sanitary pads. And young men came out to the street to say no. Our ladies cannot use towels. They cannot use other thing except the sanitary towels. So when you make it expensive, it is like you're making the lives of our young girls horrible. We, the men, we could be able to see that. But Esther Passaris and other women rep like Jerusha Momai from Nyamira County could not see such kind of a sense in the finance bill that we needed to reject in totality. They could not. That tells us what Esther Passaris is made of. Not even able to defend the fellow women. Apart from that, ladies and gentlemen, if we also move forward, as we speak today, a young man was shot on top of a building during the demonstrations, watching what was just happening. And then a bullet found him on top of the building of the 9th floor. From the balcony, he was shot and he died. He died. Is the problem a demonstration? Is the problem of this country demonstrations. Someone losing life without participating in demonstration. Where has the problem come from? From the police, government. And in our bill, Esther Passaris did not capture that. Goons walking by the side of police cars, others boarding police cars. Goons destroying things across the country. Others thanking the governor. Esther Passaris did not see that. She just came out to simply see the problem is the demonstrators, not the goons, not brutal killings, not high cost of living, not corruption, and not all these other things. This is a disappointment. And personally, I feel, Esther Passaris, if you are watching this, you are a disappointment to us as Kenyans. I don't know what's your take. That's my take. My name is Abdul Mukwa. See you next time for more videos.